All right, y'all. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is live. We ready to get it in. We got a lot to get into tonight, so we ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna talk about a legend retiring. We want to talk about police brutality, but in a different way than what you think. And we got a Republican that says that he would sign a bill that would return slavery to the United States of America. We got a lot to get into, y'all. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is right now.
Yeah. It's about that time. It's about that time to get. Yeah.
Button your lip, open your ears, strap on your thinking cap. Socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor and the top sports stories of the week. It's time for Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J.
Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. Puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago. Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. He hits one deep to right center. That ball is out of here. The Yankees win the pennant.
If they lying,
then you must be half stepping.
ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is live, y'all. We back for another hot show live in the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. We the flagship show, Legacy Internet Radio, live in the Den. Be down with us tonight at 804-402-2893. 804-402-2893. Be down with the flagship show right here on LegacyInternetRadio.com. We got a live show. I teased a little bit of it right there at the top of the hour. We also got a wealthy living segment from our girl S.Y. Butler. She's not in studio, but she will be joining us later on in the show. We got a lot to get to. We got What the Hell. We got the round table. We got our special guest joining us in the studio. We got my main man sitting across from me. My main man JR is joining us tonight. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, man. Just working hard. Redskins got a win yesterday.
Oh, good.
You know, I'm feeling pretty good.
Didn't take long for that shit.
Had a nap, so I'm feeling
You had a
good.
nap?
Man, I had a nap.
Oh, man. I can't remember the last time I had a
was
nap.
5 years old again.
I tell you, when you get a nap, like you wake up from that joint feeling like $1 million.
I want to know where the Kool-Aid and cookies at.
Oh, man, for real. Wow, you just gonna take it right there, huh? That's what it is. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Also joining us in studio tonight is the host of Enliven Radio, heard right here on Legacy Internet Radio on Tuesdays from 7 to 9. He likes to call this room the Bat Cave, but damn it, this ain't no half step with Marcus J. We call it the Den, but I'll give you a chance to say you in the Bat Cave tonight. We got Mr. LP Steven Sykes with us. What's up, bro?
Doing all right. Good evening to you.
It's good to see you, man.
No problem.
All right, let's keep it moving. Joining us, of course, as he does from his perch on my left every single week, we got my brother, my partner, and my homeboy, Big Road.
Yo.
Big Road.
Yo.
What's up, man?
A perch?
Your perch. Just kind of
What am
came.
I, a damn bird?
It
Man,
just,
what the hell is
it
this?
just came out, man.
Man, what's it?
It just came out, man. I wasn't.
Yeah, you need to go back in. That's
It
stupid,
does.
yo.
All right.
I'm sorry.
All right, you want to do it again?
Nah.
Good, because I wasn't gonna.
I know you won't. Jerk.
So what's going on, man? You doing all right?
I mean, you know, I'm trying to do what I got to do.
That's what it is. Well, it's good to see you, man. Let's get right to it, fellas. When I mentioned at the top of the show, JR, I want you in this one first. When I mentioned at the top of the show, we had a legend retire. We had the great Bubba Chuck, AI. We had number 3 from the Philadelphia 76ers, because don't nobody care about the other teams he played for. Allen Iverson officially retired, and as in his retirement speech, he said that he'll always be a Sixer. How you feel about it, man? Allen Iverson, Virginia's own, Bubba Chuck, what you think?
Man, I don't. I thought he was retired anyway. I didn't think we needed a press conference for it. Sad case in basketball, man. He he had the whole NBA at his fingertips, and the infamous cross up of Michael Jordan. But
his rookie season, right?
It just didn't pan out the way we thought it would pan out, like so many other careers. But I wish him nothing but the best, and hope he stays out of the headlines for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. I want to get to some other kind of stuff about AI here in a minute. I want to get everybody's initial thought on the retirement of Allen Iverson first. Steven, what you think when you hear about Allen Iverson officially retiring from the National Basketball Association?
I'm mixed reviews. As a basketball fan, I'm sad to see him go in one respects, but the personality he brought to the game in terms of his lifestyle, I didn't care for. But I hate to see anybody go out on a low note the way he did. I prefer people to go out healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Big Rube, when you think of AI retiring, because initially going around the room, I just want your thoughts on retirement. We're going to talk about some other stuff with AI here in a minute. When you think of him retiring, what's your thoughts?
Practice. We talking about practice? The sad thing about AI retiring last week is he probably should have did it like 5 years ago. That's real messed up. But he had a solid career. He got to smell the finals once till they got beat down by the Lakers. But he had a good career. He's under 6'2", basically, and he's probably the smallest dude, the best smallest dude ever in the game.
Let's talk about legacy a little bit. Rubes, I'm going to stay with you. I had this debate with one of my homeboys online a couple of days ago. I had my thoughts on AI as far as his legacy in the history of the National Basketball Association. I'll kind of hear what you guys have to say on that first before I speak my piece. But when you think, I guess you kind of tipped your hand a little bit. What you think about AI as far as his historical legacy, but why don't you expand on that a little bit? When you think of AI, if you had to rank, him in the history of the NBA best players, I'm not asking you to sit and give me every single play you'd rank ahead of him, but where do you think he fits in?
Probably somewhere around the top 15, top 20. I think that, as we talk a lot, there are a lot of players who are really good, but they don't get that chip, and unfortunately for him, he's one of the best that didn't get a chip behind Karl Malone, John Stockman, guys like that. But when it's all said and done, unfortunately, I think that his relationship with the media is going to almost overshadow everything he's done on the court. Because he had a strong love-hate relationship with the media. Because you either loved him or you hated him, but you had to sit there and ask him questions just to see what he had to say.
Right.
And historically, I say top 20. I would say top 20. I think that's fair.
Okay.
But me being a Lakers fan, I respected the dude. He had the best, two-step to the hole to be under 6, basically under 6'2".
Yeah,
he
was 6 foot with lead in his shoes. So 6'2" is giving him more than he had.
Yeah. So I would say he's really fearless in the paint.
Right.
I think if it weren't for guys like him, you wouldn't see guys like Derrick Rose. I think he helped make Derrick Rose as confident and I could play in the paint too. Because Derrick Rose probably is about 6'2".
Right.
So, he helped the little guys out, and definitely as far as fierceness in the paint. I just wish that he'd have made a better representation of himself off the court.
Steven, what do you think?
I don't really think he's top 20. I think he's outside the top 50. Sorry.
Okay.
You lost your damn mind.
I'm saying this as a guy who's, granted I'm not that old, but I'm thinking a lot of older players, and I'm thinking about current players, maybe top 40, but I just don't see them. A couple of reasons why. I don't care. I have a problem with, you're glamorizing somebody who didn't care about practice.
You're talking about on the court. Man.
Okay, right. But on the court. But, he could have been a better player if he practiced. And then at the same time, he got injured a lot towards his later career because he was one of those guys that rely on his speed versus building up his skill.
But he's
is
like
jacking up 30 shots a game and say like going 15 for 37. And, oh, you saw he scored 35 points. Well, he just shot 37 shots.
But who else is going to shoot on the Sixers?
If you help, one of the things is you help develop the other players on your team.
Man, you can't name 3 people that play with him on the Sixers.
Is still the whole point about it is Eric Snow.
Man, when you have nobody on your team, somebody got to shoot the ball. And, he's by far the best player. He's one of the best players the Sixers ever had.
One of the best Sixer players, yes.
I mean,
I don't think that you can name. You could probably name 2.
Was Jerry Stackhouse with him at one point?
Yes, he was.
For a little while.
Did you say
That's
Jerry
about the
Stackhouse?
only person I can think. I'm trying to think of people who were with him. Like
Eric Snow.
When
No,
you
I got
say
you.
that, and I'm trying to.
Man,
remember.
don't sit here.
Aaron
Snow.
McKee and Eric Snow, and
Eric Snow. Right.
Scrubs.
So Jr., what's your thoughts on his legacy? AI.
You know what? I'm sitting here thinking. As Big Rube is talking, and I'm gonna respectfully, I guess I would say about 25. If I'm being a little bit like a little bit, it'd be disingenuous for me to say 30, 35, just because when I'm thinking of people that I will put ahead of him.
He's probably one of the third or fourth best point guards
I just can't think of too
ever
many
in
that
history.
I would put.
He didn't play point guard. That's the thing.
Well,
His size would dictate that, but he didn't play point guard.
I'm just talking about just as far as you limited it to on the court, and every time I think of him, I want to go off the court, but just on the court, I guess I gotta go at least 25.
If it was me ranking, he is in my personal top 10. Me personally, as far as top 10 greatest players that I personally ever saw. Now, we can sit here and debate what everybody else's opinion is. We got one guy that says top 15, 20. We got one guy that says 30s and one guy that says 50. I got him in my personal top 10. And that kind of speaks to, the disparity in the opinion of what AI was able to do. I mean, you got to remember, the guy was 6 foot, weighed 170 pounds, and he was able to carry the team on his back the way that LeBron James does. And then let me kind of explain to you what I mean by that. When you look at LeBron James in Cleveland, tell me that he had a better team in Cleveland than AI had in Philadelphia the one year that they each went to the finals with those teams. Both of those teams had the great Eric Snow on them. I mean, come on, man.
I would say that at least Cleveland had Ilgauskas.
Okay, they had a center, but
but
you're aiding me and making my
he's
point.
a jump.
Well, no,
shot,
but
too. I don't qualify
I'm
him
with
as
you on
a
that
center.
point.
Yeah.
I feel like he carried the Sixers to the finals, and he won one of the game. He won the only game in the finals they won.
Yeah. I mean,
He damn near scored 50.
I mean, my thing with now, as far as the other thing, I mean, as far as his interaction with the media and his look and all of that kind of stuff, I mean, Allen Iverson was probably the first of the generation of hip hop players in the league who not just, walked hip hop with the look, but had the swag, who his interaction with the media was the I don't care, type of attitude. This is the way I roll, and you're going to have to be down with me or else you just don't get to talk to me. And I'll be honest with you, coming from the hood like I do, I don't know where y'all, if y'all came from the hood, I did. I ain't hood, but I came from the hood. And I can respect someone who does what they want to do and doesn't really care what you think about it. And part of me liked the fact that he took that kind of attitude to the, the millionaire, billionaire, white folk who was paying him to play basketball. But at the end of the day, you take him off that team. You saw what the Sixers did when he was gone. He was the man. Yeah, you can say what you want and want all that you want, but do I care for the tattoos? Nah. Did I care for the cornrows? Nah, because that's not my personal look. But the swag, loved it. Loved the swag, loved it, and I love the fact that he crossed up and embarrassed the second best player that I ever saw play in my life, and that's Michael Jordan. So,
who's your first one, sir?
LeBron James, easy. Not my favorite player. I'm not a LeBron James guy, but in my personal opinion, I've never seen a better basketball player than LeBron James, and he's so much better than what Michael was at this age. I mean, we can look it up, and you can tell me where I'm wrong on that one. But it is what it is as far as how old he was and the titles he had and the accolades that he had attained. I don't like the fact that he had to leave his, not so much his home team, but his first team to go win a title. But when you look at physically what he's able to do, he can guard every single guy on the floor. He can score whenever he wants to. He could average a triple-double if he wanted to, and the only reason why he doesn't is because he's more focused on getting the other players involved. So
Sound like
I don't want to. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I think he's head and shoulders ahead of what Magic was. Certainly at this age.
Yeah.
Certainly at this age, but. I don't want to make this about LeBron. I want to make this about AI. The last thing I want to kind of get into with regards to Allen Iverson is the fact that he's broke. And JR, I want you on this one first. We can kind of talk a little bit about these NBA players, these Major League Baseball players, these National Football League players who go out and they make all this money. They had a special on 30 for 30 on ESPN that talked about it. I think it was called Broke. What the hell is going on with these cats that go out and they make all of this money and then they end up with zero? I mean, what is your thoughts on that? And I want everybody in the crew to kind of answer that question.
I guess to be short and sweet about it, it's the mentality of the people that are getting this money. You have a lot of people say, oh, if I win a lottery, I'd donate this much, and then I help this person out, that person out, then I'd save the rest, or everybody has their idea of what they would do if they had money. But in reality, most people aren't good with $5 or $500 or $5,000, whatever their salary dictates that they have, each week or every 2 weeks. So when you give them $5 million a year, they're going to spend it just like they spent when they were poor. So it's the poor mentality, not necessarily what they have in their pocket.
We're getting a hit from the co-host of Ain't No Half Step with Marcus, J.S.Y. Butler. She's not in the building with us tonight, but we will hear from her shortly. But she's hitting us up in social media. She says to tell the crew what's up. She's got a personal note to everybody. JR first, she says, what, you show up when I'm not there? To Rube, she says, I'm going to pick a fight with you even from a distance. And so you should be crying that she's not there to help out with the show. And then Mr. LP, she says, what's up to you? And then she's asking if I got on my tinted glasses tonight. So personal joke or personal inside joke for those longtime listeners of Ain't No Half Step on Marcus J. So what's up, sis? We'll look forward to hearing from you here shortly. Big Rube, AI ain't got no money, man. What's your thoughts?
Whole bunch of people don't got no money.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being real about it. A lot of it is that everybody wants the fame and the glam. They want all this diamonds and gold and blah blah blah, and they can't balance a checkbook, And what happens is they hire somebody to do it, and that person ends up taking all their money, or they hire their quote unquote wife to do it, and she ended up taking all that money. Then after they get divorced, she's suing the dude for alimony and all this other craziness. The problem is that this is why I am such a proponent of college basketball, at least on a certain level, to the point where they can get some sort of education in college to basically say, hey, you may be one and done, but dude, this is how you do your finances. Because a lot of people are going broke because they don't know how to deal with money, like you said, JR. And to me, it's sad, but it's one thing. On the 30 on 30 broke, that's what they said. People didn't know how to handle their money, and it's not just black NBA players. It's white NFL football players. It's hockey people. It's golf. It's everybody. It's just basically you get into a sport and somebody says, yo, here's $5 million. The first thing you gonna do, $5 million. I ain't never seen something like this before. I'm gonna buy everything I want and then rent your house. Or you get instead of buying your house straight up, you sit there and you take a loan out on your house. You just got a $5 million check. Are you living in a $20 million mansion? What the hell's wrong with you? I mean, just stuff like that. So it's like, they basically burn their money out, especially those quote unquote stars, and then they end up getting hurt. Well, You can't play basketball no more. You left school early because you wanted to get paid. You ain't got no college degree. What you gonna do? You gonna be broke. And to me, the NBA and NFL is like, well, we teach the rookies how to, man, get out of here. If you can't spend your money before counting the zeros in your money, then you already messed up. And that's real talk.
Steven, what do you think?
Couple of things. One, this is all about the swag that you mentioned about is also contributes to the attitude of why so many of them are broke. Because I don't care, don't tell me what to do. It also plays in terms of their livelihood and how they live, deal with their money. The sad thing about it is also is just willful ignorance. It's one thing if you don't know, but it's one thing that you know you don't know, but you just don't give a damn. And that's what happened with a lot of these people, especially AI. And then you do, like you mentioned, they spending all this money. And so, okay, you've been now seeing all this before. But it's no more excuses anymore because even while they're in the NBA is there. For the last 23 years, they had the symposium. They give you cards. They give you people. They tell you, if you don't trust us, fine, go ahead, go get a class, what have you. But so many of them people don't want to listen. We've gotten too much of this. Don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna do it my way, and this is what the cause and effect. No one knows everything, even as much as even I, who studies a lot about finances. Things can still happen, but you have to know what to do to get yourself above that, and that's something he really wasn't willing to do. And he could have saved himself. He could have played. He was too good to play in a D League. He got an opportunity to make some money and then maybe get on a team to be a lesson.
D League don't make no money, man.
No, but hear me out. Okay, what could have supplanted his image? Okay, better with the public. Okay, I learned. I messed up. Let me help these other young quote unquote knuckleheads or whoever, and not make the same mistakes as I have. And then what better person who's actually been in the game and been in the heat than AI? And then you can sit there and say, okay, AI taught, and then now you could have said, I've been a mentor. He played overseas. He spent all his money over that. So he's like, now he's in his late 30s, and he still don't do anything. And then now he's still broke or have problems. And when doing the interview, he got the big earrings, he got the chains and all this other stuff. Still in the mentality of, I want to look good and fly, but how are you going to eat tomorrow?
They're broke and I broke too. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
you're not broke.
The only response that I have to that, Steven, is these cats don't care about the image. They don't care about their image. They care about what they think is cool and what they want to do as far as the earrings and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, I wouldn't even really apply that to the discussion simply because, well, there's two ways you can look at it. One, you can apply it to the discussion and say you spent your money on nonsense. That's one way you can look at it. So if that's where you were going, then I get it. But if it's more about the look of the image, I can't give you that because everybody has their look and they have their image. So,
but it takes the money to maintain that look and image.
Yeah, but when you get to a certain level, it don't matter because don't nobody care what Marilyn Manson look like, and don't nobody care what Birdman looks like, and don't nobody care what Lil Wayne looks like, or any of these people. Nobody cares. What can you do for me? Can you entertain me? Can you make me laugh? Or do you make good music? Can you slam dunk the ball? I mean, this is what the money makers and the money takers really care about. They don't care what you look like.
No, but I'm speaking towards the aspect of it's not so much that we care, but I care about that. Okay, you brought this to maintain the image for what you want, regardless of what anybody else thinks. But then at the same time, you broke and now he has no money.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you go in there with regards to the money thing, then I give it to you. If it's anything else, then I can't.
No. Yeah, I'm looking at the money aspect, sir.
Ain't no #, Marcus J. Let's move on from Allen Iverson. I got one more sports story, Big Rube, that I want to talk a little bit about your man, Richie Incognito. You know a little bit about this story, my man?
Yeah, Captain Douchebag.
Why don't you share with the listeners what's going on here, and we'll round table it with the fellas here.
I mean, it's simple. Now, first of all, I guess the premise didn't make much sense to me because apparently he's bullying someone else in the organization.
Well, set it up.
He's a football player who, for the Miami Dolphins, he's a veteran, and apparently the veterans of the Miami Dolphins are quote unquote bullying the first and second year to the point where they have to pay for their extravagant dinners and all this crazy stuff. And like one dude said, he was even going broke from it, because I mean, you make league minimum. This dude makes $15 million a year, and you got to pay for his meal. What kind of bull ass is that? So, but apparently he was. I don't know if he was picking or whatever. The situation is, what's the guy's name? The football player's name, not the bullier.
Jonathan Martin.
Yeah, Jonathan Martin. Jonathan Martin apparently just couldn't take it anymore and rolled out, and basically said, "I ain't coming back to that dude's taken care of and whatnot." And apparently he's quote unquote bullying him. And Jonathan Martin is a second year from Stanford. So I'm trying to figure that. Apparently there's a whole bunch of harassment going on. And then on top of that, Adam Schefter from the Four Letter Network basically said, well, yeah, this is legit. My sources say this. Now, this dude's attacking Adam Schefter. And, you can say what you want. And I don't know if people know who Adam Schefter is. But that dude's like E.F. Hutton. If he talks, he telling the truth. Because he checks his sources out very, very thoroughly. And he don't speak out of turn. So pretty much if he said, well, by my sources, such and such has happened, but he ain't giving up people, because if he give up people, then his job is done. And then on top of all this dude today apparently has been texting Morgan's family, threatening the family with
Jonathan
Martin's family, threatening the family, and then throwing some racial stuff out there. I was like, and this guy ain't a bully? Kind of questionable. But the biggest thing is
racial stuff. I know.
Yeah, racial stuff. But the biggest thing is
what's the racial dynamics? I don't know the racial dynamics.
I don't know either. They didn't go into that.
Okay.
But the biggest thing is I haven't heard the Miami Dolphins organization do anything about any of this. This dude Martin is gone on. He's basically gone for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they put him on IR, I think.
Well, yeah, it's like non-injury reserve. Yeah, some crap basically, and he's getting help for emotional issues. Look, man, real talk. We a bunch of damn adults up in here. If you know what, unless this dude has beat him up like 5 times and he know he can't do it without shooting him, is one thing. But for the whole organization to pretty much say absolutely nothing in the public is seemingly is doing nothing, for me, that's a problem. I mean, that's, to me, does anybody not see that as a problem, that the organization ain't done jack?
Well, from what I understand, I don't think the text messages were today. I think these were text messages that Martin saved, and he leaked them out to the press. Things like I'll slap your mama, N-word this.
But the dude's white.
He is. But what I guess what I'm failing to see here is, and maybe it's because I don't tolerate the quote unquote bullying practice. I had a guy take French fries out of my French fry little cup. You remember in high school, you got the little French fries cup.
Yeah.
Freshman year, dude just took some of my fries. I ain't getting suspended off that, but you can bet the very next day when he got some fries, I got my fries back. And dare somebody to say something.
Yes.
And I am not. I don't. And here's the thing. The first and second year hazing, fine. I believe Terrell Davis said it best this morning on the NFL Network. He was like, we're talking about, I'm going to get you some Popeyes, fine. But when you're talking like 10,000, 20,000 on dinners, he's like, that's not happening. And see, that's what I want to get to here. But if you also look at it, they also mentioned he was an ex-Rams player as well, and they tossed him from the team there for arguing then Coach Steve Spagnuolo. So it's not his first time. He's been put out of 2 programs in college, from what I understand. So the dude is just,
but he's
just a simpleton. And as far as Martin goes, to me, you have a situation sometimes where you feel like, I need to get out, because obviously Richard Incognito is a Pro Bowler from last year, if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of times when you have a guy that's a Pro Bowler, and he's looking out for your new quarterback, and he's supposed to be part of the future, a lot of times you saying something, you're probably told to kind of man up.
Yeah.
In so many words.
Steven, what you think about this, Steven?
All of this kind of harkens back a little bit. Remember Playmakers that was on ESPN?
Yes.
Okay. Now, during that show, there was a lot of the stuff they were showing, all the hazing with the gay athlete and all the other foolishness that goes on. And I remember the whole NFL sat there and said, you know what, told ESPN, you're not going to get jack and everything else unless you cancel the show because it doesn't accurately portray football. But it's like, you know, how much ever since then, everything that's happened, all what happened on the show, and it gives accurate portrayal. And I'm like, you know, what does it take that now you have grown men still doing this? And it's now, this has to not just going on with this case. I think it's now because of the whole thing, bullying is the last few years is coming to play, and so many children are killing themselves over it, and adults. Now, this can't be the only case. I suspect that this guy has enough courage to say something. And by the way, it was somebody in the Dolphins administration that leaked the text out. But the issue is, there's got to be going on in some other organizations to a point where now you're going to have to really say, stop the hazing, the taping the guy to the goalpost. You're going to carry my luggage and all this other stuff, because now it's going to start to a point where we're just going to stop it altogether because of fools, certain idiots who take it too far.
Well, look, man, I'm not going to sit here and say that people don't get hazed for whatever reason, but when it becomes financial and physical, that's a little bit of a distance. Like this dude, like JR said, got kicked out of Nebraska, got kicked out of Oregon football in 2004. 2009 was voted the NFL's dirtiest player by NFL people. Released by the Rams in 2009. Fined Richard Seymour, when he played with the Raiders, was fined $30,000 for punching him during the game. Antonio Smith from the Texans early in August was suspended for week 1 for swinging a helmet at this dude. Really?
See,
swinging a helmet?
This guy long to go towards my post from yesterday. This dude should have just been out the game altogether.
He's been suspended indefinitely by the Dolphins, so at least they did something.
Right, but
that's
it's
recently.
Now something too late. He should have been gone after the first.
Well, his contract is up at the end of the year, from what I understand. So it's kind of like, well, his contract was up anyway. Let's kind of get rid of him and just not bring him back.
Yeah. Well, as far as what he said on a voicemail, I'm reading this off the internet. Hey, what's up, you half-in piece of S? I saw you on Twitter. You've been training 10 weeks. I want you S in your effing mouth. I'm going to slap your effing mouth. I'm going to slap your real mother across the face. Ha, ha, ha. F you. You're still a rookie. I'll kill you. So, pretty much, this is in April. This happens in April, and it's gotten to this point. I think, me personally, the dude left the team because he felt like, well, I'm hoping that he felt like he's going to kill this guy if he continues to stay there.
Let me just say this, because I want to move on from this story. We got a couple other things that I definitely want to get to. Let me just say this, Ruben. You basically stole a little bit of my thunder. I don't want to hear nothing about no grown-ass man having a problem with another grown-ass man bullying him. If you want to call me insensitive, then call me insensitive. Damn it, I grew up short with glasses. I came out okay. I don't want to hear about no big-ass football player that's got another big-ass football player punking him for $10,000. I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about you had to go away to sorry, sad-ass camp to get your mind right because some dude is taking your milk money in the NFL locker room. I'm sorry if that makes me insensitive. And if you got a problem with my position on that, call me up and tell me that I'm just a mean asshole. 804-402-2893. When I heard this story, I got so damn mad, Ruben. I swear. I was like, are you serious right now? You got a grown man who made it through high school, made it through college, made it to the National Football League, where it's his job to play the most violent sport other than physical martial arts or hand-to-hand combat, boxing, MMA. Those are the only types of sports that's more violent than football. And you mean to tell me that you got a problem with a teammate who hurt your feelings?
Shows you that there's not a lot of men out there showing another man how to be a man.
Well,
I don't know if I go.
I'm not going there. I'm not going there because it ain't nobody else's business how to make you a man. The only person who's responsible for doing that is maybe your father, father figure as you're growing up. But I mean, the reality is, once you get to a level of maturity, then you should be able to handle certain things on your own because there's certain things that you've seen. You don't make it to the NFL with your eyes closed. You don't make it that far in life and not be able to say that you done seen and done certain things. So you get that far and you let another grown man punk you over dinners.
But let me give you another parallel aspect to that. How many people make it that far in NFL or any other sport in the days who couldn't read? Or in life who'd be extremely successful but can't read? And you're like, how could you imagine somebody get that far and make millions, but they, can't read?
I mean, Dexter Manning played like 18 years in the NFL.
And couldn't read.
And he couldn't read. I mean, I don't understand.
But I mean, you don't really need to read.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand your point.
Push a man around.
No, but no. My point is that by a certain age you can get so far. My point was that when he was younger, he didn't have somebody to teach him. So now as he got older, he made it by somehow, some way.
I mean, they say he was soft,
about?
but my point isn't that whether or not he getting his money taken or not. It's to me, it's more of an aspect. You got a Pro Bowl player, then you got a dude just trying to make it and off the league minimum. And to me, if you go, I'm willing to bet that he's going to somebody here and there, and they telling him to man up. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna be out before I do something, and then I'm the one.
I really hope that's what it is.
That's the way I'm looking at it.
That's the way it would be for me. I really hope that's what it is. I'm getting hits in social media. Mrs. J agrees with me, and so does said. They both agree with me. One of them said that I'm kind of a mean guy, but I won't tell you which one. But they were joking. We know. Yeah, they were joking. But I mean, but seriously, that's just how I feel on this one, JR. And Ruben, and Steven as well. I just don't see. I don't see it. I really don't see it. And it's one of those things where if you can't cut it in a man's sport, then go somewhere else. And when I say a man, I'm not questioning, his manhood. I am questioning his toughness. I am questioning his mental toughness because, I've heard it said that certain sports, are, large part mental and small parts physical. And in this particular case, I think his mental capacity is low. And if that makes me a mean guy, then so be it. Ain't no how stepping with Marcus J. We're going to take our first break of the night. And when we come back, we got S.Y. Butler on the live line. She's going to take us through the wealthy segment, and I'm looking forward to it. I got Mr. LP, my man JR, Big Rube, and you, the listeners of Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J with me tonight. Stay with me. Be back in a few.